Hi everyone, me and
It's
Simon.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're in the woods today, in one of our favourite places, and we just wanted to. We've been talking about mental health, and before we sort of go on to some of our more interesting, I think, stories about Simon's life as a zookeeper. We just wanted to have a chat about some of the issues that we deal with the people that we work with. So we both work on a zoo license, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Yeah. So from the zoo license point of view, when for the animals that we work with, I mean, and here at Cheshire Falconry, it's all birds of prey. What's really important in keeping their well-being in tip-top condition?
From a falconry centre's point of view, we've got kind of two aspects to look at, because we've got birds that are just aviary for visitors to kind of see in their aviaries in the centre, and then we've also got birds that we fly. So we've got kind of two aspects of it to look at. So we've got to look at their general behaviour and their well-being. Obviously, is the animal showing any stress or strain? Is their habitat they're living in suitable for that type of species? Are they getting the right diet? Are they getting enough exercise? That one's slightly stronger point with the free-flying birds. Obviously, we don't want an unfit bird flying for us because, one, it can damage them. Like anybody that exercises too much and hasn't prepared for that, they're going to potentially damage themselves. So we've got, obviously, all that so far. So food, habitat, exercise, and just general mental stimulation as well, depending on the species.
Right.
Because we have a varied range of very intelligent birds to birds that aren't that intelligent on the cognitive thought aspect of things.
Yeah.
So we have to take all that into account,
Right.
and prepare for each individual species that we provide the 5 freedoms for the animals, and that's, if I can remember them off the top of my head, freedom from fear, freedom to feed, freedom to display natural behaviour. I can't remember the other two off the top of my head, but it's all around basically making sure that animal is in a suitable environment.
Right. And you know, with some of our birds, some of them that are, there's more than one,
Yes.
and some of them there is
Singles.
Singles, and
Yeah.
and like other zoos, the where you've got let's say, just as an example, something like a meerkat.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a meerkat on your own, would
No.
on its own, would
No,
you?
no. So obviously, with some species of animals, we have a social hierarchy, we have a social structure, from anything from ants that live in a huge social network. There's the colony, and without the colony, none of them would survive. To animals which are individuals, they are sole hunters, they're predators. They don't want any other predators around because they're likely to attack them. So we have to take a look at that. For us, with birds of prey, apart from a handful of species, are predominantly sole hunters.
Right.
The only time you'll have them living together is if they're an actual bonded pair,
Yeah.
or two that have come up and grown up to living with each other can sometimes live together. So we're looking at that one. So the single birds are usually, for us, usually retirees, ones that have done flying displays and have got too long in the tooth and don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So they're now on their own in the aviaries. However, they are quite happy with that. They don't want to be introduced to anybody else.
Yeah.
They get as much food as they want, to get enough space and enough stimulation to be on their own. Whereas a meerkat, obviously, social structure, a single meerkat on its own in the wild would not survive because something would come off.
Yeah.
So keeping them singly keeps them stressed.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So for us to have the zoo license here, we have to adhere to all of this, don't we?
Yes.
And we it's not just documenting that we do it. We actually have to be seem to be doing. I mean, we want to do it. That's besides the point.
Why we do what
but
we do.
but we, we ensure that the well-being of our birds is paramount.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What gets me is we don't do the same with people.
No.
And the number of people who I see, particularly with depression and anxiety, some of the things that I go through with them is, I do talk about diet, and when I talk about diet, I mean, are you eating regularly? Are you eating good, healthy food? Or are you on a diet of takeaways?
Yeah.
Are you getting enough exercise? And, I think people have got confused about exercise. Now, our birds, it's like you were just saying, they need to be, the display birds and the birds that are involved with the experiences have to be flown every day, don't they, to give them the right level of exercise and so on.
Yeah.
Because that's a natural thing for them to do.
Yeah.
And yet humans are equally designed to walk, to run, to exercise. We are designed to move. And yet so many people don't exercise, they don't get out there, they don't, and exercise, there's this confusion about it being must go to the gym. No, get out, take the dog for a walk, walk around the woodlands. I mean, one of the things that we do here is we walk with one of the owls, or there's a few owls that we work with in the woods, and we fly them as we walk, don't we?
Yeah.
And we're noticing nature, and we're noticing what's going on. You can probably see behind us a little bit of green starting to come through, and we notice that every time we come into the woods. So for people with mental health issues, it's we need to move our bodies to maintain physical health, but it also maintains mental health. And going for a walk, going for a jog if you fancy that, but definitely going for a walk, but a decent walk, and a walk at pace that gets your heart moving, will have a massive impact on your mental health. You were talking about, enrichment is really important for the birds, isn't it?
Yeah, stimulation.
And the stimulation that they need. And humans need it too. And I'm talking about to people about what makes them happy. And I spoke to somebody recently, and I said, when were you last really happy? And anybody think I'd asked him to answer a mathematical problem? Because it was so difficult for him to be able to say that. And it's looking for the right level of stimulation, and people are so sort of on their phones watching stuff, kind of spoon feeding themselves rather than going out and learning about things, and that learning keeps you stimulated. One of our neighbours is where I live is he's a top medical consultant, and he was saying to me, if you want to keep your brain active, especially as you get older, and I'm a lot older than Simon, so it's really important for me, is to learn something new. And he said, even art, learn about painting, learn to dance, something like that gets your brain working. So as Simon was saying, we have to, legally would have to. I mean, people would be horrified if we weren't doing this for the birds or animals that we're working with. People would be absolutely horrified, and the RSPCA would be called. Yet humans all the time
left to just sit in front of a TV and not do anything.
It's so frustrating, and when I talk to clients about it, and they're like, oh my goodness, I've not thought about that.
Well, we're going back to the social aspect with the meerkats and stuff. We're a social creature. We're not supposed to be on our own. If we were on it, if you go back through history and go back towards Neanderthal times, if we were on our own, we were dead. So humans are born with that need of that social interaction, and that's one of the things I've been listening to recently is possibly one of the reasons why people are suffering with higher anxieties and higher depression, because we're losing that social connection.
Yeah.
Because everybody sits in front of one of these things that we're sat in front of now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah.
it is so important, and you know, I think it's ITV on GMB in earlier in the year. They do it every year, and they're sort of encouraging people to give 1 million minutes of time or whatever it is, and you know, so people commit time to spending with other people and on projects and volunteering and that kind of thing, because being with other people has a massive impact on mental health. And you know, one of the problems at the moment that we've got is with loneliness. And
coming out the back end of the lockdowns with COVID.
Yeah, and but particularly for elderly people who are maybe less mobile and aren't able to get out of their houses as much, and also, like you say, suffering from the trauma of the lockdown, and maybe being a little bit nervous to go out still as well.
Yeah.
But that loneliness is massive.
Yeah.
You know, and for some of the autistic and neurodiverse young people that we work with, who perhaps, you know, for a lot of them, they do want to spend time on their own and they're very comfortable with that, but others who want to fit in with a group yet find it difficult because the group has expectations that are different from theirs, that can be so damaging and creates so much anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
You know, it's a difficult one, but as I say, I think when I started working here, and particularly working on the zoo license with you, it brings it home to you how much time and effort that we put into animals, quite rightly.
Oh yeah.
But we should be doing more of this with humans, and I'm not saying there should be a legislation to it, but humans need to be aware we are designed to move, we're designed to have the right environment, we're designed to we need the right foods. We if we want to be mentally well, we need to be doing this, and we need to be treating ourselves as well as we would treat our animals.
Yeah. We wouldn't leave our dogs in the same state at home that we leave ourselves sometimes.
No, definitely. So there's our ramblings for today. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again or rambling again in your direction very soon.
Take care.